Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn one of the most important subjects in the pharmaceutics called the mass transfer operations. Don't worry if the terms sound difficult, but the end of this class you will understand it using simple pharmacy and daily life examples. So, mass transfer means the movement of the substance from one place to the another due to concentration difference. In pharmacy industries, this process is used in manufacturing tablets, syrups, injections, ointments, capsules, and many other dosage forms. Whenever a substance moves from high concentration to the low concentration, mass transfer takes place. Imagine adding sugar into a tea. Slowly, the sugar spreads throughout the tea. So, that spreading is simply an example of mass transfer. Similarly, when a perfume smell spreads in a room, it is also a mass transfer. In pharmaceutical industries, drugs are extracted, dried, crystallized, filtered, and purified using these principles. So, without mass transfer operations, modern medicine manufacturing is impossible. So, today we will study the meaning, principles, types, equipments, and applications with real life examples. Why mass transfer is important in pharmacy? Students, let us understand why mass transfer operations are extremely important in the pharmaceutical industries. So, medicines are not prepared simply by mixing the chemicals randomly. So, every drug must be purified, concentrated, separated, and processed carefully. So, mass transfer helps in all these operations. So, for example, while preparing the herbal extracts, so active constituents move from plant material into the solvent. So, this movement is mass transfer. During tablet coating, the moisture evaporates from the tablet into the air. So, that is also a mass transfer. In IV fluids and injections, impurities are removed using filtration and diffusion processes. So, pharmaceutical companies depends on mass transfer to improve the drug quality, safety, stability, and effectiveness here. Even in our body, oxygen moving from lungs into the blood is a biological mass transfer process. So, nutrients absorbed from the intestines into the blood also involves mass transfer. Therefore, this topic connects the pharmacy, human body, and industry together. Understanding this subject helps students operate the pharmaceutical equipment efficiently and solve manufacturing problems. So, basic principles of mass transfer. The main principle behind the mass transfer is very simple. Substance move from a region of higher concentration to the lower concentration until equilibrium is reached. So, this movement happens naturally because molecules are always in motion. So, think about spraying room freshener in one corner of a room. Initially, the smell is strong near the spray area, but after some time, it spreads everywhere. Why? Because perfume molecules move from high concentration area to the low concentration area. In pharmacy, this principle is used in extraction, dissolution, absorption, drying, and distillation. So, another example is dissolving glucose powder in a water. At first, the glucose concentration is high near the powder particles, but slowly it spreads uniformly. So, this movement continues until the concentration becomes equal everywhere. Temperature, pressure, surface area, and agitation affects the rate of mass transfer here. So, higher temperature increases the molecular motion and speed ups the transfer. Stirring also increases the transfer rate. So, these principles helps the pharmaceutical industries optimize the production here. Diffusion and its role in pharmacy. So, one of the most important mechanism of the mass transfer is diffusion. Diffusion means movement of the molecules from high concentration to the low concentration due to random molecular motion. So diffusion occurs in gases, liquids, and even solids also. In pharmacy, diffusion plays a vital role in the drug absorption. When a tablet dissolves in stomach fluid, so drug molecules diffuse across the biological membrane into the blood circulation. Transdermal patches also work through diffusion only. So nicotine patches and pain relief patches release the drug slowly through the skin because molecules diffuse from the patch into the body here. So another example is dialysis used in the kidney patients. So the waste substance diffuses through the semi-permeable membrane during the purification of the blood here. So even inhalers depends on the diffusion of the medicine particles into the lungs here. And students can observe the diffusion practically by adding ink drops into a water without stirring. Slowly the color spreads throughout the container. So this simple experiment explains the same principle used in the pharmaceutical drug delivery systems. Okay, and next one is evaporation in the pharmaceutical industry. Evaporation is another important mass transfer operation. It involves removal of the solvent as a vapor from a solution. In pharmacy, evaporation is mainly used to concentrate the syrups, herbal extracts, and pharmaceutical solutions. For example, during preparation of a cough syrup, the excess water may be removed to obtain the proper concentration. Similarly, herbal extracts are concentrated using evaporators. In daily life, drying wet clothes under sunlight is a common evaporation process. So water molecules gain energy and escape into the air as a vapor here. In pharmaceutical industries, special equipments like vacuum evaporators are used to remove the solvent at lower temperatures. So this is very important because many drugs are heat sensitive and may get damaged at high temperatures. Reduced pressure lowers the boiling point and protects the medicine here. So another example is milk concentration in food industries. So thus evaporation is useful not only in pharmacy but also in food and chemical industries. Drying operation in pharmacy. Drying is the process of removing the moisture from the solids. So pharmaceutical products must be dried properly to improve the stability and prevent the microbial growth. Wet granules prepared during tablet manufacturing are dried before compression. So if moisture remains, means what will happen? The tablets may become soft, sticky, or unstable. Different drying methods are used in pharmacy such as tray drying, fluidized bed drying, spray drying, and freeze drying. So freeze drying is especially important for vaccines and protein drug because it protects the heat sensitive materials here. So think about making papads or drying chilies under sunlight at home. So water slowly evaporates and the product becomes dry and stable. So the same principle is applied scientifically in the pharmaceutical industries. So proper drying improves the shelf life and prevents the spoilage. So students should remember that excessive drying may damage the product. So while insufficient drying may encourage the bacterial growth. Therefore, controlling temperature, humidity, and drying time is very important. Extraction process in pharmacy. Extraction is one of the most widely used mass transfer operations in pharmacy. So, it is the process of separating the active constituents from the crude drug using suitable solvents. For example, tea preparation itself is an extraction process. The hot water extracts color, flavor, and caffeine from tea leaves. So similarly in pharmacy, the medicinal compounds are extracted from herbs using alcohol, water, or other solvents. So Ayurvedic and the herbal medicines depend heavily on the extraction techniques. So extraction method includes maceration, percolation, oxalate extraction, and supercritical fluid extraction. So during extraction, the soluble compounds moves from plant material into the solvent due to concentration differences. So factors like temperature, particle size, solvent type, stirring influences the extraction efficiency here. So pharmaceutical industries carefully select the extraction conditions to maximize the drug yield and purity. So extraction is also used in isolation of the antibiotics, alkaloids, and essential oils. So without extraction technique, many natural medicines could not be produced. Distillation and the pharmaceutical applications. Distillation is a separation process based on differences in the boiling points. It is widely used in the pharmaceutical industries for purification of solvents and preparations of distilled water. Water used in the injections must be highly pure, and the distillation helps remove the impurities. In simple distillation, liquid is heated until it vaporizes, and then vapors are condensed back into the liquid form. So this operation involves both the heat transfer and the mass transfer. In real life, distillation can be observed in the water cycle. Sunlight evaporates water from oceans, and clouds later condense it into the rainwater. Okay, that is the real life example. So in pharmacy, steam distillation is used for extracting volatile oils like eucalyptus oil and the peppermint oil. So fractional distillation is used when separating the liquids with close boiling points. So proper temperature control is essential for the efficient separation here. So distillation equipment includes boilers, condensers, and receivers. So this operation is crucial for producing the high quality pharmaceutical solvents. And next is crystallization in pharmacy. So crystallization is the process of forming the solid crystals from a solution. So it is used in pharmacy to purify the drugs and improve the product appearance. So many pharmaceutical chemicals are purified by crystallization before formulation. For example, sugar crystals formed from concentrated sugar solutions are a commonly daily life examples. In pharmaceutical industries, crystallization helps obtain pure and uniform drug particles. So the process occurs when the solution becomes supersaturated. So cooling or evaporation causes the excess solute molecules to arrange themselves into a crystal structures. So factors such as temperature, cooling rate, agitation influences the crystal size and the purity here. Larger crystals are easier to filter and dry, while very small crystals may create processing difficulties. So crystallization is important in the production of antibiotics, vitamins, and fine chemicals. Proper control of the crystallization ensures the better drug quality and stability. And the next process is filtration and the membrane separation. Filtration is the process of separating the solid particles from the liquid or gases using a porous media. In pharmacy, filtration is essential for preparing the clear solutions, sterile injections, and purified products. For example, tea strainer used at home separates the tea leaves from the liquid tea. Similarly, pharmaceutical filters removes the unwanted particles and the microorganisms from the medicines. So different filtration methods includes gravity filtration, vacuum filtration, pressure filtration, and membrane filtration. So sterile membrane filtrations are widely used in the injectable preparations because injections must be free from microorganisms. So in kidney dialysis, membrane separation removes waste substance from the blood. So air filters in clean rooms also work on filtration principle. So selection of the filter material depends on the particle size, viscosity, and the stability requirements. So proper filtration improves the product purity, safety, and the patient health. Okay. And next one is the factors affecting the mass transfer operations. So several factors influence the efficiency of the mass transfer operations. One major factor is the concentration gradient. So higher concentration difference increases the transfer rate here. So the temperature is the another important factor, because higher temperature increases molecular motion. So surface area also plays a major role. So smaller particles provide a large surface area and a faster transfer rate. Agitation or stirring helps maintain the uniform concentration and improves the transfer efficiency here. So pressure affects the operations like distillation and evaporation. So the nature of the solvent and the solute also influence the transfer. For example, sugar dissolves faster in hot water than the cold water. Powdered sugar dissolves faster than the sugar cubes because of the surface area. So pharmaceutical industries carefully control these factors to achieve the consistent product quality. Improper control may lead to lower yield, product degradation, or manufacturing failures. In conclusion, students, today we are learned that the mass transfer operations are everywhere around us and are especially important in the pharmacy industries. So processes like diffusion, evaporation, drying, extraction, distillation, crystallization, and filtration are essential for preparing the safe and the effective medicines here. So these operations are not just the theoretical concepts, but the practical tools used daily in the pharmaceutical manufacturing. So even simple activities like making tea, drying clothes, using perfumes, and filtering water involves the mass transfer principles. So understanding these concepts helps the pharmacists improve drug quality, stability, and the patient safety. So as future pharmacy professionals, you must connect theory with the practical applications. So always observe the real life examples around you, because science becomes easier when linked to the daily experiences. So remember, pharmacy is not only about medicines but also about understanding the science behind every process. Thank you, students, and I hope this session made mass transfer operations simple and interesting for all of you.